What is going on? I'm zmot. We are on the dev build. You can tell I'm on the dev build because I got 1,000,000 diamonds up in the top right. Also, if I go down in the bottom right hand corner here, code zmot does not work in the shop. If you're not sure, do check to make sure code zmot works in your game, just to make sure you're on the main base. Now, there is an update coming out, June update, Summer Skies. Back when Boom Beach historically got updates at a somewhat regular pace, they were March, June, September. We got one in March, we're getting another in June. It will come out soon. In the next couple days it should be, but there's always Boom Beach has to submit it and Play Store and App Store and all the rest, approval and publishing and all the rest of the things. So I'm going to jump right into the part that I am most worried about, that I think is going to piss off some players and give you a giant disclaimer. So my victory points are at 1775. That is because that is about where I finished my push. I think I might have been at 1790. Maybe I was at 18. Doesn't matter. That's all ancient history at this point. The important part here, my friends, is that the radar has a new screen. There is no more percentages. There is no more one spawn. You can get 2 spawns at the same time. Blackguard is set to a specific timer. Now, you got to ignore this a little bit because we are on the dev build, and even if we fast forward 2 hours, I'm not going to get a spawn because there's no one on the dev build at my victory point level. So if you look at my spawn list for the last 14 hours, it is all NPCs, so this is not 100% accurate. I might be raising concern, and it might just be the dev build. And so what you need to be aware of is that you can get now a maximum, full out maximum, no more than 12 spawns a day. That is if your map is clear, and if you don't log in, your timer stops after 14 hours. So it's going to make for a little bit of difficulty and weirdness. Now, for the average player, it should be no different. It should be probably better because 12 spawns a day is really quite good. But for leaderboard players, I think this is going to make people's victory points at the top come downwards. Players at the top are getting rated between 12 and 22 times a day. So this is going to be a massive problem, I think. Now, I can't talk to any current leaderboard players because of restrictions around the dev build and sneak peeks and stuff. Now, do know that this timer is tweakable. They can say, people complain, we're going to turn it down to 1.5 hours, or maybe if you're above 1,000 victory points, you get slightly more. This is the start of new matchmaking changes. So if you hate this, please don't rage quit. Give your feedback. I will pass it along. Supercell will implement it maybe, and everyone will be happy. So that is step number 1. That is the first change. The second change is that the Warships global leaderboard will now show more than just 50 people. Show more than 500 people. You will be able to scroll down like you do on the Mega Crab and see that you're in rank 32,412th. You'll be able to see people that are slightly more around you. That is great news. I really do like that. Speaking of leaderboards, we have a new leaderboard here. There is a Mystic Monument leaderboard. Now, the Mystic Monument still only goes up to level 300, which I think is a little bit weird. They've got a leaderboard that everyone will be at 300 on, I think. I don't know how long this leaderboard is, if it's going to be the top 500, if it's going to be the top 32,000. Clearly, there's only 9 people with the Mystic Monument on the dev build. So, anyways, I think they need to expend the Mystic Monument to be essentially unlimited levels, but maybe that this is step 1 of it. Now, if you're wondering, well, zmot, why are you rank 3 on the dev build if you're at level 300? Whoever gets there first, they are the top of the leaderboard. So there's a certain amount of getting there first incentive is the word I'm after. Another thing they fixed, if you look at the beautiful gunboat, they have managed to get it so that all of the things work. If we click on there and we throw some artillery, you'll notice that all of a sudden both of the barrels work. So tiny, neat little change. There are lots of other things. For example, they've fixed it so that you can't have 3 shock launchers on warships if there's only supposed to be 2. I'm sure many people will be happy about that. If you lose a resource base, you no longer get that weird victory point thing. Lots of little things. They fixed the sculptor and a couple other things that were showing the wrong things. I think right now, if we go to the sculptor, for example, where is our sculptor? And we click in here and click... Okay, that's not what I thought was going to happen. They've changed it so that the sculptor and the prototype factory and your daily chest doesn't go away when you click it. So maybe if you click in here... Anyways, little tiny things that are making things far, far, far better. And if we enable one of our troop skins and then jump onto our archipelago, you see that all of a sudden those icons, you know what? I've got things covering it. Let's get rid of that, shall we? So we've got proper icons in the loaded troops. So that's kind of nice. Your fancy scorchers, you went out, got that nice skin. Now you can actually see it as you attack. They've also made a bunch of changes to garrisons, no surprise there. You've got a slightly different screen here, makes it a little bit easier to see where the heck your gold is going and how that's going to work. Definitely making some improvements there. You also can't use Kavan to restore your opponent's troops anymore. Lots of fixes around the bunker and the gunboats and the units and lots of little fun things that really aren't going to affect anything. This is not a huge update. This is like a quality of life plus is the way that I'm thinking of it as. And one of the changes that should make some of you happy is they've added this screen right here. When you go to leave a task force, it's going to say, if you leave now, the intel you've donated will be subtracted. Wait for about an hour before leaving to avoid this. Now, if you try and leave in 3 hours, this screen is still going to be here. So it's not perfect, but at least you get a bit of a heads up, which is kind of nice. And I think that screen only shows up for after. Anyways, it's good. It's still not perfect, but it's better than what it has been in the past. One more small but important fix is that if you're sitting here with your supply chest ready to go and you go ahead and accidentally destroy another NPC, that is actually going to carry over towards your next supply chest. So tiny bug that really was a problem in my mind, because I would clear my map and then go, oh no, I've got a bunch of supply chests. Then nope, you've only got one. So little tiny fixes that probably should have been here before, but at least they're here now, so I'm at least a little bit happy about that. Now, I can't show you this, but seasonal campaign, they've made a bunch of changes to this as far as where the annoying pop-ups are. I think they also made it so that if you decide to spend diamonds to move farther along, you're not actually going to unlock. Just cleaning up the boom pass, making it more obvious, implementing all of the feedback you and I and everyone else have been passing along. So again, all just good things for the quality of life. And if we go ahead and downgrade some of our buildings, you'll see a new feature in here called the Path of Glory, and it'll show you where you are as far as what's coming next and what you've got already. So you can see that at headquarters level 15, you get War Factory. Where are we at? We are over here at, what are we at? We are currently at headquarters level 24. If we come back in the Path of Glory, you see that we get not a heck of a lot of fun stuff. Headquarters level 25 and 26 don't 24 and 25 don't bring anything, but 26 does bring us the bunker. So neat little things. You can scroll along at the bottom and go back to level 1 if in case you wanted to remember where you're at there. And then level 2, you see what the new stuff is. You get the heavy and the wood storage and the vault and yada, yada, yada. So if anyone asks you a question like, hey, where do you get flare? You can say, hey, it's just after headquarters level 3. Huzzah! Now, jumping back to that matchmaking change, or the spawn radar thing that changed, they say that the mercenary invasion time is capped at 2 hours at level 60. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means if you're level 15, it's going to be 10 minutes, and if you're level 60, it's going to be 2 hours, or if it's going to be higher at a low level. I really, really don't know. So, And the fact that it's at level 60, not at a headquarters level, is kind of surprising to me. But again, these are the things that are going to be in the main game that we're going to have to do some digging and some investigation, and we'll either complain or be happy, or maybe both. Speaking of clarifications, if we look at the Mystic Monument, only the players who have played in the last 2 weeks are listed here. So maybe someone takes a vacation and you move from number 3 up to number 1. I don't know. Again, I don't know how exciting this Mystic Monument is, but it's kind of neat. But the fact that it's capped at 300 kind of limits its fun in my eyes anyways. Obviously, they can't make it unlimited because all of those boosts could get out of hand a little bit. But that I'm kind of excited if that was the case as well. So do let me know, where would you like the Mystic Monument to go to? Do you want it to go up to level 600 or something ridiculous like that? Do you want it to change its look at some point? Would that be at level 500, level 1000? I'm very open to hearing, or very excited to hear what you guys think about that Mystic Monument anyways. And last but not least, they yet again tweaked how troops target when there's critters nearby, and hidden defenses, and slow firing units specifically are gonna alter between targeting their target and other critters. I don't know how that's gonna work. Need to see it in the main game. Hoping these are all good changes, but I have huge reservations about that radar change. Maybe that's great. I would love, if you were a low-level player or a leaderboard player or somewhere in between, please do let me know what you think about that and what you think about this quality of life plus update. Even just being able to see your leaderboard position on warships is pretty darn good, I think. Kind of sad that my account's not on there, even though I've done 0 battles. Skins, again, that's much better. Kind of like the fact that both of the barrels of that puppy work. I shall talk to you soon, though. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so it doesn't leave this screen. That's what we were after. Anyways, that's it for me. I am zmot. Sneak peek dev build. Upset players, happy players, somewhere in between. I shall talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. I'm zmot. Peace.